out there, and so much of it we want to share with you. CNN, showing life from every point of view. And just because we care, we're always there. CNN tells it right. Your window on the world both day and night. You will see faces that make history, the laughter and the tears, the hopes and fears. CNN on the go, because you have the right to know the score. Where there's war, tribulation, new sensations, we bring you so much more. Eyewitness the incredible experience, the wonderful, the joy, the peace, the world within your reach. Experience live on CNN.
You're watching UA Columbia Cablevision of Westchester. This is the local station, Cable 3.
The following is a Cable 3 sports exclusive.
UA Columbia Cable 3 Sports presents another edition of the Cable 3 Sports Special. And today we continue our Cable 3 Sports Softball Game of the Week. And today we find ourselves once again in the village of Dobbs Ferry. Tonight an A-Division ball game featuring Ricci's Deli and Dan's Sporting Goods. And a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Gould Park here in Dobbs Ferry as the Cable 3 Sports team welcomes you to another edition of the Softball Game of the Week. And tonight we go a little different than normal. We've got a fast-pitch softball game. We'll go 7 innings, and we've got 9 fielders as well. And 2 good teams about set to square off. It's Dan's Sporting Goods, the home club at 9-6, winners of the Dobbs Ferry Recreation League 2 years running. And they're taking on last year's playoff champions, Ricci's Deli, coming in with a sparkling record of 12-3. And as I mentioned, they will be the visitors in tonight's ball club. A big one as playoffs just around the corner, and these teams getting set to participate in those. As we mentioned, these 2 teams squared off against each other for the championship just 1 year ago, with Ricci's Deli beating Dan's 2 out of 3. And you can see the teams out onto the field as we're just moments away from tonight's first pitch, which will be fast-pitch softball tonight in the village of Dobbs Ferry. Let's take you around the infield and the outfield to set you up defensively for Dan's Sporting Goods. The home club tonight at first base will be John Iazzo, number 1. Over at second base tonight, we'll have Robert McCade. The shortstop is Bob Wilmoth. And the third baseman for Dan's is Dan Graham. 3 outfielders tonight with the fast-pitch softball. In left field will be Anthony Scaparata. The center fielder tonight is Mike O'Brien. And down the lines in right field, we'll have Joe Umboni. Behind the plate doing the catching and wearing number 30 is Butch Cody, as in Wild Bill. And out on the mound to start it up, the starting pitcher and the manager of Dan's Sporting Goods is Dom Finelli. So there you have the defensive set for both of these clubs, and we're just about set to begin with Ricci's coming up. As you look at Dom Finelli, manager and starting pitcher for Dan's Sporting Goods, sporting the brace. And you ready for this? Watch what's about to enter your screen. Is this a fashionable team or what? They come out dressed to the hilt. Tough place to be wearing a white tux, however, with white patent leather shoes on a dusty field. But they look good nonetheless. So we're about set to get that first batter in here as we're ready for the top half of the first inning. Our umpires today, we've got 3 of them out on the field. Billy Giraldi will be behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Howie Mandolin will be down at first base, and Larry Monteleon will be down the lines at third. So you get a look at the back of Dom Finelli, about set to throw the first pitch to Nick Capuano, the center fielder, and this ball game is underway. Opening pitches, they call it strike one. Fast pitch softball takes a little longer than the high arc pitch. There's one that's lined down the left field line, fair ball. It'll go for extra bases. Capuano is at second and will go in with a stand-up double. So Ricci gets the leadoff hitter on and puts him right in scoring position as Capuano leads off with a double. And that'll bring up now the pitcher, Jed Varinelli, who'll come from the left side of the plate with one on and nobody out. Top half of the first inning. And within a matter of moments, the Hacker Pete Maneri will be joining us as he finally found himself a parking spot. And he's making his way into the ballpark and will be joining us in just a moment. All right, here's Varinelli now with a runner on, and a pitch, good one by Finelli over the outside corner. Strike. Right back up the box off of the leg of Finelli, and he won't get anybody. Capuano has to stop at third. A bullet off of the leg of Finelli on the mound. It kicked into foul territory, and Varinelli is on with a single. Capuano has to hold on at third. So Ricci's Deli now with runners at the corners, still nobody out, and it'll bring up the shortstop, Jody Varinelli. Jody, who's playing for Billy McClain, the manager of Ricci's Deli, who had some ligament damage done in an all-star game he played, and he is out for the season. So Varinelli now at shortstop and the number 3 hitter. And the first pitch is up and high for ball one. And back from his latest gig in New York City, the Hacker Pete Maneri has joined us here at fashionable Gould Park.
With the traffic and transit reports, heavy bulk.
Trains are not running on or close to schedule tonight.
Not even near it.
That one's a little low. And the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Jody Varinelli playing shortstop. His brother just on with the infield single. That's a little low. 3-1 the count now. You'll notice the batters will take a lot longer with their at-bats, similar to a hardball game where they'll look at a lot of pitches. Runner goes, throw down to second, is not in time, and it didn't matter because it went as ball 4, so Varinelli is on with the bases on balls. The slide by his brother Jed down at second, not necessary, as they're loaded up now with men from Ricci's. And we'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Paul Cirillo, playing first base tonight, number 28, and he's going to come from the left side of the plate.
And with the fast pitch, John, you think they'd have the opportunity to jack it out of here. The ball's going to carry a lot better with fast pitch. Of course, slow pitch, the batter provides all the power. Fast pitch, not so.
And that's on the outside corner, strike 1. And we think maybe our center field tower may come into play tonight.
Well, yeah, could easily.
Bases loaded, nobody out. And he checked the swing. It'll go at 1-1. Nice night for softball.
Nice night for anything. God, it's gorgeous.
So we get down to the final weeks of regular season play throughout the county. That's a little bit high. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Paul Cirillo, the first baseman. You notice the tucks, nice tucks, huh?
No question. Waiter, French fries.
That's in there. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody outs, bases loaded. Top of the first. This one ripped into right field base hit. That'll score 1. They'll try at second and will not get a play as 2 runs comes in. And Paul Cirillo with a 2-run single, and Ricci's leads quickly 2-0. They had a play on it on Jody Varinelli down at second base, and he scampered back into the bag safely. On the play, Cirillo holds it first. 2 runs are in, and it'll bring up the third baseman, Mike Perkins.
That ball pulled nicely, not with an awful lot of power, but he got the barrel of the bat out in front, did Cirillo, and just got it over the second baseman's head, actually between first and second, and well over the heads of the infielders and the grass.
Down low, ball one. Dan's had their problems this year after last year's second consecutive regular season championship. They've had a lot of injuries. And a throw down to second quickly, and that'll fly into second into center field. But a nice job by Mike O'Brien out there backing up on the play.
Jody Varinelli having to leave his feet to slide back in, so not in any position for us to get up, turn directions, and reverse direction rather than head to third base.
Runners at first and second. Still nobody out, top half of the first. And that one is down in the dirt.
John, you have to wonder if, as we take a look at Perkins looking basically into the sun, you have to wonder what the effect of the sun is on the right-handed batters, especially without a hat.
Grounded to third. They'll go to second, and it gets away.
You know, they had the easy play at third base, John. There was no question about it. The opportunity just to step on the bag at third base and get one, and especially in a situation like this where the other club has a big inning, get the first out. Get the out at third base.
So instead, Perkins on with the fielder's choice. The error charged to the third baseman, Dan Graham. And again, they're loaded up. Still nobody out. And Billy Powers, the catcher, climbs in. So I started mentioning earlier, Dan's Sporting Goods at 8-6 this year, beset by a ton of injuries. And just haven't been able to put it together as they have the last two seasons.
They have been the power in this league.
Well, last year they won the opening round of the playoffs, the best 2 of 3 set against Ricci's, and then Ricci's came back to take the last 2 games and the Dobbs Ferry Fast Pitch Softball Championship. Off of the fist, the shortstop Wilmoth will take it, and that will be the first out here in the first inning. Of course, everybody holds, so the bases remain loaded, and it will be Chris Cirillo, the right fielder, number 24. And he'll quickly go down to chat with Billy McLean. Little strategy here. A lot more strategy you get in the fast pitch softball with bunting and stealing. Manager's got to work a little harder here. It's not like you got the designated hitter or anything where you can just kind of sit back and relax.
No American League rule.
This one again off the fist. Wilmot behind second base, called off. Robert McCabe makes the play, and the throw down to home chases Jody Varinelli back into third base. So not deep enough to score a run as Cirillo goes down with a second fly ball.
Let's take a look at that fly ball again. And the infielders here really took control. Second baseman comes over and says, hey, that's me. McCabe throws it to the plate. They fake the throw to third.
So now the designated hitter, John Campana, now with 2 away, the base is still loaded, goes after the first pitch into left field. Anthony Scaparrotta is there, and he makes the catch. So Ricci's able to come across with 2, but you'll have to say Dan's dodges quite a bullet with the bases loaded twice and nobody out. 4 Ricci's in that first inning. They do pick up a pair of runs on 3 hits. We had 1 error and 3 left on. At the end of a half inning of play, it's Ricci's 2, and Dan's coming up.
Campana certainly jolted that ball, didn't he?
Hit it a ton, but Scaparrotta out there in left field to haul it in and end the inning. So now the visitors about set to take the field as Dan's will get their first crack at Jed Varinelli, will be the starting pitcher for Ricci's Deli. 12-3 on the season. And as we mentioned, last year's softball champions here in the village of Dobbs Ferry. All right, let's take you around the infield. First of all, at first base, we've got Paul Cirillo. At second base tonight will be David Stone. The shortstop is Jody Varinelli, wearing the captain. And at third base will be Mike Perkins. In the outfield, in left field, we'll have Steve Ciencio. The center fielder is Nick Capuano. There's Nick, number 14, and in right field, we'll have Chris Cirillo. There's Chris. Behind the plate doing the catching is Billy Powers. And as we mentioned, out on the mound to start it off for Ricci's Deli will be Jed Varinelli, the pitcher. Already staked to a 2-run lead as we play now the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Mike O'Brien, the center fielder, to lead the way. Squares around a bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball. Third base, very shallow, right on the infield grass, as that one cuts the outside of the plate. 1-1. A little inside. 2 balls and a strike. In the gap in left center field, and it'll be the center fielder cutting over to make the catch, Nick Capuano, for out number 1.
Of course, at that part of the ballpark, if it gets in the alley between left and center, it's 4 bases. We're going to take a look as Capuano runs this one down. O'Brien really hits it hard, gets it up, lifts it pretty well, and there goes Capuano, backhanded play.
He knew he had it all the way.
He did.
All right, here is Butch Cody, as he told me earlier, as in Wild Bill. First pitch is up high, ball 1.
As you can tell, he's the catcher. He has his hat on backwards, huh?
Saves time. It's like that courtesy runner. That's low as well. Notice Jed Varinelli throwing from the left side.
Mike Perkins, third baseman, ran in as Cody had faked a bunt on the previous pitch before he takes ball 4. Boy, you hate to see a guy charging the plate in this league.
Especially when he's only about 40 feet away.
The bases are 45 feet to begin with, and he's playing inside the base.
All right, here's Joe Umboni now, the right fielder, with a runner on. Cody faked the steal and decided to hold on at first as the first pitch down low. Watching Joe take batting practice earlier today, he was sending some rockets to the alley in left center. Coming very close to hitting our center field camera, and it's a poke out there. That one's over.
I'll tell you, the right field and the right center field fences are quite reachable, imminently.
Into left field, Steve Ciancio makes the catch, and Cody all the way around second base. Here comes the throw, and a nice play by Paul Cirillo at the bag to haul that one in. Cody had gone around second, had to touch it on his way back, and got back into the first safely. So 2 outs.
See if we can roll that one back again. See, fly ball jolted deep to left field. Ciancio with the catch. And there goes Cody. As you're right, John, he tagged second base. He had to tag it again on the way back and get back in.
So with 2 outs and Cody down at first, Anthony Scaparrotta steps in. And the first pitch from Varinelli is down low, ball 1.
Scaparrotta, cleanup hitter.
2-0. Both of the pitchers trying to work the lower third of the strike zone tonight. And that one cuts the knees, and it's 2-1.
Sure don't like to get the ball up.
Not here.
Off-speed pitch was up, but off-speed and off the plate.
3 balls and a strike now. Goes after it, grounds it down to third, gobbled up there by Mike Perkins, who guns him out. 5-3, and that's going to do it for Dan Sporting Goods here in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, and there was 1 man left. At the end of 1 completed, Gould Park in Dobbs Ferry, it's Ricci's 2 and Dan's nothing. And we'll return in just a moment. There's always something good on Cable 3.
Good evening. I'm Madeline Klein.
Welcome to Jobs and Careers. I'm Jack Scarangella.
Welcome to the Total Image. My name is Luis Martinez. I'm your host.
Hello, my name is Harold Mawhinney, and the program is Rich Harvest.
Hello, I'm Pete Gallo, your host for Go For It.
Programs that inform and entertain every day on Cable 3 because we work for you.
Go For It.